This is 7 National News, and in our top story. The Vice President and Prime Minister of the UAE and ruler of Dubai, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, on Tuesday received Lebanon's Prime Minister Tamam Salam and the members of the delegation accompanying him. During the meeting, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid and Prime Minister Salam reviewed the fraternal bilateral relations between the two countries and the role the Lebanese community in the UAE plays in the process of building and development in various spheres. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed lauded the role being played by the Lebanese residents in the UAE. He also lauded the role Prime Minister Salam plays in the promotion of cooperation and coordination between the two countries on regional matters in particular. On his part, Prime Minister Tamam Salam expressed his high appreciation of the UAE's national and humanitarian stances for Lebanon and its people. Present at the meeting were His Highness Sheikh Maktoum bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Deputy Ruler of Dubai, His Highness Sheikh Ahmed bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Chairman of Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Foundation, as well as other dignitaries and VIP guests. Crown Prince of Dubai and Chairman of the Dubai Executive Council, His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, has issued a legislation on the organisation structures for government entities in Dubai. The approved legislation includes Resolution number 38 of 2014 on the methodology and procedures for approving the organisation structures in Dubai government. Article 01 of the resolution partially amends Executive Council Decree number 19 of 2012 and states that the Secretary-General of the Executive Council may formulate a team to study the proposed organisation structure, presided over by a representative from the Secretary-General with members from the Department of Finance, the Secretary-General of the Supreme Legislation Committee and Dubai Government Human Resources Department, in addition to an employee from the Secretary-General as a coordinator, according to the Government of Dubai Media Office. Pursuant to Article 01 of the resolution, members of the said team are nominated by their managers and the Secretary-General issues a decree defining the regulations and procedures governing the team's work. Gender parity, women's empowerment, diversity and inclusion are in focus at the 16th Global Edition of the Women in Leadership Economic Forum, or WIL, in Dubai. Running until the 20th of November, the two-day event continues to discuss the challenges as well as achievements of women globally and their impact in their local communities as well as economies. The UAE Minister of Economy, His Excellency Sultan bin Saeed Al Mansouri, was among the keynote speakers and recipient of the honorary WIL award in recognition for his support and contribution to women empowerment. During his speech, he highlighted several milestones that the UAE has achieved in supporting and encouraging women to take on leadership positions as well as contribute economically and politically. He also emphasized the government's commitment to gender equality. Meanwhile, the founder of the Cherie Blair Foundation for Women and wife of former British Prime Minister Tony Blair, Cherie Blair focused on womenomics, women's role in today's economy and the challenges female entrepreneurs face, as well as their role in today's dynamic business landscape.
Women's economic empowerment is vital in driving economic growth. And so today, what we're talking about is vital to the future of this country, of this region, and of the world. And we've heard already from the speakers how the UAE can rightly say that they are a leader in this respect, not just in the Arab region, but particularly in relation to what you've done about women in boards, in the world too, the second country in the world to make it mandatory that there is women's representation on boards. This is important to me because I'm a lawyer and I believe that in shaping society, what we do with our laws is a starting point, but it's by no means the end point, because when we have those laws, we then have to make sure that they work. But I know that by having more women on the boards here in the UAE, it will make the country more competitive, more innovative, and drive those goals that the Minister has already set out for your country.
A country like the UAE, it becomes more critical because of the size of the population we have. And also the willingness and the support from the initial stage of the creation of this country through the leadership has been emphasizing the equality of men and women, All what you need to do, whether men or women, is to take the flag and move on up. There is nothing that would stop you. And if there is anything, the government is willing to look at it, review it, and help you, all of you, whether it is women or men actually. But it is more and more within our region, the issue of women is taking a lead. And we see the results represented in what has been achieved here on the ground in the UAE.
What it takes to get to the top is you've got to know yourself and what you bring to the table. You've got to know you can do it and have the confidence to push through. And you've got to know the rules of engagement because they don't always add up for women and they're not always fair. To stay, you got to keep on doing what you do best.
Many other speakers, including the CEO of Nasiba, organizer of the event, Sophie Lee Ray, and founder and CEO of APCO Worldwide, Marjorie Krause, all shared their experiences as entrepreneurs and women in power, in addition to being mothers and grandmothers. They say these are just some of the multiple roles that women juggle alongside a desire to achieve their potential as leaders and businesswomen that will be discussed over the two-day event. Earlier today at the event, they also recognized the men and women who have created an impact in women empowerment locally and globally, such as Dr. Susan Mboya Kidero for an initiative that has empowered 500,000 women in Eurasia and Africa so far. While the President of the Council of Arab Businesswomen, Her Excellency Sheikha Hissa Saada Sabah, received the Leading Women in Public Sector Award.
The barriers for the Gulf women are very little. They're not little barriers because she's got the finance. The only barrier is the confidence that sometimes she lacks, and also support from the private sector and the governments in giving them the chance, the opportunity to set up their companies. And otherwise, the Gulf is different than the other Arab women. She's got the finance. She's getting the confidence, and she's getting now today the support of her government.
The 5x20 initiative, which we were recognized for today, 5x20 stands for we want to empower 5 million women by the year 2020, and we want to do this through our value chain. What we believe is that as Coca-Cola does business and as our business does well, we want women to be part of that. And so we are empowering women in 3 ways. We're giving them access to business skills training, access to finance and our assets, helping them to start up Coca-Cola businesses, and then also networking them. And through this, as the women prosper, our business prospers. It's a wonderful, what I call virtuous cycle. And I believe that that's the future of companies. Companies will no longer be able to thrive unless the community and women in particular are thriving.
The Emirates Red Crescent Convoy 15, carrying hundreds of tons of relief supplies and aid for Syrian refugees in the Emirati Jordanian camp, has arrived in Jordan. Humaid Rashid Ash-Shamsi, ERC's Deputy Secretary General of International Aid, stressed that the convoy is part of the second batch of aid. It is part of the ERC's continuous efforts to alleviate the suffering of the Syrian refugees and improve their humanitarian conditions. The convoy was made up of a number of trucks carrying large quantities of various kinds of relief materials, including food staples, winter clothing, blankets, dates and basic supplies for children. Ash-Shamsi said that the ERC is working to continue providing humanitarian aid to refugees in Jordan and Lebanon, and has been harnessing its potential to reach a large number of targeted people. UAE residents can now make use of a new bike lane which has been opened by the Roads and Transport Authority along the Dubai Tram. Located between the As-Sufouh and Media City station of the Dubai Tram and around the JBR area, the new 9-kilometre-long bike lane is now open for the public. According to the RTA, there are no bike lanes for the shorter distance between Mina Siahi station and the Dubai Marina. However, they have also opened a mixed-use track from Jumeirah Beach Residence 1 station that continues around the loop going through to Dubai Marina station. There is more good news for cyclists around the city, as the RTA further announced that the opening of the track is part of their master plan that covers 900 kilometres of bikeways over the next few years. Additionally, the authority further revealed that by the end of this year, Dubai will have 151.6 kilometres of dedicated bike lanes. RTA's Director of Strategic Planning was quoted in local reports as saying that the master plan is part of their efforts to have an integrated transport system that caters for everyone's needs, enhances accessibility and mobility, whilst improving the overall quality of life. As part of the efforts by Knowledge and Human Development Authority to improve safety on the roads around schools in Dubai, the authority has partnered with Road Safety UAE to introduce training programs for teachers and students. Road Safety UAE, together with Michelin Man Academy, have introduced the Train the Teacher concept, which uses education and entertainment to develop awareness about road safety among school students. The new program was introduced at an event organised by KHDA, which offered an exchange of expertise and best practices among schools in the Emirate. According to Hind Al-Mullah, the Chief of Engagement for KHDA, the new training program will be introduced to all private schools in Dubai, adding that they aim to target 240,000 school children in the Emirate. According to officials from Michelin, the introduction of such programs to young students, particularly from primary school, should help in developing long-term understanding about the importance of safety on the roads. And finally, in the bulletin, the 2 Michelin star celebrity chef Don Alfonso is in Dubai for a week to share his expertise at the ongoing 6th Italian Cuisine World Summit. On his first night in the Emirate, Don Alfonso was already busy preparing a plate of meze manish pasta with San Marzano tomato and basil in his kitchen at his restaurant in Dubai. It is among the 20 restaurants that will serve up signature dishes for Italian food lovers, from homemade pasta to main courses and desserts. He is one of the 21 Michelin-starred chefs from around the world taking part in the Italian Cuisine World Summit, running until the 20th of November. The celebrity chef says in addition to Italian food, he is also passionate about the Mediterranean and advocates cooking with eating healthy, with organically grown fresh vegetables. He says while he has restaurants in various parts of the world, their family strategy in expanding their business isn't driven by money, but by the high demand in quality food.
For a period of our food history, we just were sending people that they were going to look for a new job or for something. But now you can see what is really the real Italian food. First of things, high quality, very different ingredients. Ingredients that up to the last university research is the best food for living a long time, to make you feel better.
This Italian restaurant in Dubai's Shangri-La Hotel is the latest addition to the global Don Alfonso family, which extends from Macau to Morocco and is still growing. When asked for his secret to success, here's what Don Alfonso had to say.
I am not a young man, but I know that every day I can learn from everybody, from everything. And I have a big respect for all the people of the world, that they can be like me, white, black, I don't know, yellow, how I can say, because I love everybody, and I have never had a problem with nobody. I can work with everybody. In my staff there is people from all over the world. That's for me, it's very, very important, and I love them. Another thing is the people that they do not like food. People, normally when I look for a new friend, first things I see if he loves food, if he loves animals, if he loves nature, if he loves to drink. But if he doesn't like this, I never get a friend, because it's not nice people. It's people that they miss a lot of things to have a good life.